Okay, NXT TakeOver In Your House. Yes, they revived the In Your House brand, and the show wrapped up, give or take, about 20 or so minutes ago. Overall, a lot of good matches on this, but I do have some problems which we'll get to. Starting off, let's talk about a bit of the positive things. Because they brought back the In Your House moniker, they did a lot of retro stylings throughout all of this. They used the old In Your House set. They had Todd Pettengill hosting the show to open up. He made jokes about, yeah, we're not gonna give away a house this time. We're not gonna. And later he tries to he's plugging stuff on WWE Shop, and he talks about calling a 1-900 number, and it's like, what? They don't use 1-900 numbers anymore. Well, okay. He makes it talk about AOL keyword WWE, and DX is on the chat and the AOL chat, and they had they did a promotional consideration with ice cream bars from Good Humor, ice cream sandwiches. I was and let me think, what's the other one? Ice cream sandwiches. I have it right here. They had Ico Pro. They did an Ico Pro promotion, and sadly, no Stride X pads. So I'm in pizza face hell. Anyway, moving on to the show proper, we opened up with the 6-women tag team match: Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox versus Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Renee Gonzalez. Right off the bat, LeRae wanted to open up, but then she immediately turned around and tagged in Gonzalez. They brawled for a little bit. Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai headbutted each other at one point. Nox dodged a kick from Kai and attempted a choke slam. Shotzi Blackheart hit an inverted sling blade on Dakota Kai. Raquel Gonzalez came in and she blocked an attempted dive from Shotzi Blackheart, but then Mia Yim followed it up with the Torpe Suicide of her own, and then Candice LeRae hit a plancha to the outside. Shotzi Blackheart locked Candice LeRae in a cattle mutilation hold. Gonzalez broke that up. Blackheart dodged a kick from Kai and hit a jawbreaker. Yim got the hot tag and went after Candice LeRae. Another schmoz broke out. Basically, the match ended when Tegan Nox was in a hold, and Dakota Kai tried to hit the running kick, but Nox fell forward, pulled Gonzalez into it. So Kai kicked Gonzalez by mistake, and I guess they're teasing a breakup between those two, which is weird because it feels like they just got together, and then Nox came back and hit the shiniest wizard on Dakota Kai for the 3 count of the victory. Kind of a surprise victory on that. I thought the heels were going to win this one. Again, they like the way they've been building up Candice LeRae and Mia Yim. You think that would have gotten Candice a leg up so that Yim could continue to pursue her. But again, this isn't a feud ender, so I'm guessing it's going to continue for a while. It looks like Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart are forming kind of a tag team now. That would be kind of interesting to see. I don't know if they're going to start defending the tag team championships in NXT like they said they would, but with them now being back around the waists of Bayley and Sasha, that could be kind of interesting to see. Like I said, and then we had the promotions for the Good Humor ice cream sandwiches, which are basically the old WWF ice cream bars. Just there's no stick this time, but other than that, it's to say if they were like the images of the superstars kind of baked into the sandwich part of it. Well, I guess there's more food for you there. Sorry. Our next match is Finn Balor versus Damien Priest, and right off the bat, Balor hit his big basement dropkick into the corner. Just before the bell rang, Balor came back in a chop block, but then Priest came back, rallied, tossed Balor into the steps, hit a side slam off of the ring steps and into the ring apron. Priest hit a jumping flatliner. Balor came back, he had a big forearm, he had a brain buster. Balor countered an attempted Razor's Edge into a double stomp, Priest came back at a razor's edge on the ring apron from the outside of the ring. Priest hit a clothesline off the top rope. Balor hit a sling blade, but Priest blocked it, came back at it 2 roundhouse kicks. Eventually, the ring steps were set up on the outside of the ring, just kind of parallel to it instead of up against it. And Priest went for the razor's edge to toss Balor into it, but Balor got out of it, hit a big drop kick, and sent Priest way back into the ring steps. He took a nasty bump because, like, the top part of his back hit kind of just the top back part of the ring step. Not quite the corner, but just short of it. And he skidded right down to there. You could hear the bong, like, oof. And Balor then hit 2 coup de grace for the 3 count in the victory. This was a tough one, because I think overall this was a really good match, but I don't think the right guy won. I've made my statements that I don't want Finn Balor in NXT, I want him on the main roster. But again, like, if we're supposed to be building the next generation of NXT talent, that you can't be losing to Finn Balor. I mean, and again, kind of going into this before everything happened with the pandemic, they were building towards Balor going after Walter for the UK Championship, and it's like, I don't want Balor to win the UK Championship either, because that's not, like, that's lower than Finn Balor. Like I said, Finn Balor should be on the main roster, and I just don't like where they're going with this. Like, if we're supposed to be building up the next generation, let's build up the next generation. Let's have Damien Priest win this, and then maybe go after someone for another championship. I think that would have made perfect sense. I don't like this. I'll go to where they might be going with this later on. Okay, our next match is the North American Championship match. Keith Lee taking on Johnny Gargano. Gargano immediately went after Keith Lee's fingers and his eye that he had damaged in the previous episode of NXT. In fact, Gargano actually, to open things up, he had Mandalorian armor on, but they showed him getting up and leaving his house and then exiting through the in-your-house set. He then turned around and locked the door and stuck the key down his trunks. And as this was happening, Gargano hit a kick to Lee's eye. Gargano tried to leave, but he forgot that he locked the in-your-house door behind him. And then we got one of the unique visuals for this, because they had one of those doorbell cams in there, and you saw the footage from that, and they brawled, but every time Lee would hit something, like, he'd sell an injury to his fingers, sell the injury to his eye. Gargano stomped on Lee's fingers. Lee dodged a slingshot spear and hit a backbreaker. Gargano locked on a triangle armbar and began torquing Lee's fingers. Lee eventually came back, hit a big clothesline. He hit a spine buster. Gargano came back and hit a suicide into a tornado DDT. Lee punched Gargano. He pounced Gargano through the plexiglass that they have set up now. Basically, they started having crowds. By crowds, I mean trainees for NXT, from the Performance Center, acting as the crowd to try to help liven things up. And he, basically, Lee cross-checked Gargano through that plexiglass. At this point, Candice LeRae and Mia Yim came out. They fought for a while. They fought at the end of the ring. And that was proved to be enough of a distraction for Gargano to pull the key out and again claw at Keith Lee's eye. Gargano hit a super kick and a couple more super kicks, but only got a 2 count on him. Gargano went for another one, but he had a slingshot DDT and got a 2 count. My mistake. And Gargano went for another super kick, but Lee caught him, hit the 2 spirit bombs, and then the Big Bang catastrophe for the 3 count and the victory. Great match, really overall fun. This is probably one of the few times I'll say that I think the right person did win this match. I mean, I like that Gargano's doing this heel shtick really well, and I think he's excelling at it, but I don't want him going after championships. Exactly, like, I think Johnny Gargano chasing the championship needs to be put on the back burner for a while. I just want to see him have some intense feuds. I mean, I'm guessing because Candice LeRae and Mia Yim are continuing that he and Keith Lee are going to continue, and I don't know if he's going to eventually beat Lee, but like I said, I'd rather see Gargano try to move on to some greener pastures here. Okay, our next match is the Backlot Brawl for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole, baby, versus the Velveteen Dream. or basically the setup with this was it was kind of in a parking lot type scenario. They had cars that surrounded the ring. All the headlights were on the cars, so that was the lighting effect. This was all pre-taped. Adam Cole arrived on a monster truck, and Dream came in a Lamborghini. He came out basically kind of as the NWO Dennis Rodman motif with this. Right off the bat, Cole tried to hit Dream with the belt, but Dream countered into a couple of roll-ups. Cole tried to leave in another car, but Dream caught him and started hitting the car with a baseball bat. This was all legal. Pinfall. The only way to win the match was in the ring, though. You couldn't do it. It was not a false count anywhere. They kind of chased around through this. At one point, an Uber driver showed up and said, "Did someone call for an Uber?" And Cole tried to get in, but Dream grabbed him and threw him back into the Uber vehicle. The Uber vehicle just left. And they kind of Dream chased Cole around the set a little bit, but Cole came back, caught Dream with a fire extinguisher, got the upper hand. Dream began to rally back again. Cole started throwing chairs in the ring. At this point, the other members, Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish showed up. Kyle O'Reilly's out of action because he has diabetes and he can't be in Florida because of, he's immunosuppressed, so he's out of action right now. So the other members of the Undisputed Era show up. They beat on Velveteen Dream for a little bit. However, in the process of doing so, Adam Cole is inadvertently knocked off a ladder and smashes through the windshield of a car. And then this is all breaking up when Dexter Lumis emerges from under the ring and chases off Strong and Fish. Dream's basically got the upper hand now. He counters a Panama Sunrise into the Dream Valley Driver, but only gets a 2 count. There's a pile of chairs in the ring. Dream hits the Purple Rainmaker through a chair into the ring and covers Cole, but Cole just manages to break counter out of it. And then as Dream taunts Cole, he gets a little too antsy and Cole low blows him and then hits the Panama Sunrise onto a pile of steel chairs for the 3 count and victory. Adam Cole wins. I understand that there's extenuating circumstances with Velveteen Dream right now. I don't want to fully comment on that because the news broke a couple months ago and then there hasn't been any type of follow-up with it. So I can't say for certain what that situation is, and there hasn't been formal processes done with it. But yeah, I can understand maybe why they didn't put the championship on Velveteen Dream, but at the same time, when you are building up to the match and you add the stipulation of if he doesn't win, he can't ever get another championship shot, usually that person wins. So yeah, I don't know exactly what to do with this. And again, I think Adam Cole's done just about everything in NXT, and his contract is coming up, so I don't know if he's getting a renewal or what. Added to all that, I fear that Cole's gonna wind up dropping the championship to Balor. Like, that's what they want to build towards. I don't want that. That just does not interest me. I want to see them build someone up. You know, again, if you want to maybe have Keith Lee come out and say, you know what, I'm going to forfeit the championship if I get a championship shot against Adam Cole. Maybe that's something that I could forfeit the North American Championship. Again, maybe that's something that could be done. I think that would help build some interest up in it. I don't want to see Gargano or Ciampa. Again, it's getting really kind of retready now. We need to start building up a next generation for NXT, and I thought this was the night that we were supposed to be doing that. In fact, that's really what they hinted, and just, again, not a bad match, but I'm not so sure the right person won. Okay, our next match is Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Right off the bat, this was basically a Karrion Kross squash match. Ciampa got in a little bit of offense, but then immediately Kross shrugged off a forearm, hit a big boot. He had a big bunch of suplexes. He had a two-handed choke slam into the ring apron. Kross hit a knee strike that knocked Ciampa into the turnbuckle. He hit a Northern Lights suplex and then hit a lariat. Ciampa came back. He managed to knock Kross off the ring apron. He came back, hit the Widow's Bell DDT. He went for the fairy tale ending, but Kross countered out of that and locked on the he hit the F5, and then he locked on the cross jacket, and Ciampa just passed out at that point. So, yeah, again, I don't know what they're going to do with Tommaso Ciampa right now, but again, I think this does help build Karrion Kross, especially with someone like Ciampa doing that. So, again, this is actually one of those few times they did elevate someone. And this is probably one of the few times I would say the right person did win this match. So I think overall that worked pretty well. But yeah, again, this was basically a filler match. Nothing too much to say after that. After that, we have our main event, the triple threat match for the Women's NXT Championship. Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley. Couldn't help but notice when Ripley came out, she had on one white boot that looked like her boot that she wore at WrestleMania 36, and then she wore one black boot. I don't know if that was meant to be a message or something. It's just kind of weird. Right off the bat, Charlotte rolled out of the ring and told the other two to just fight themselves. That didn't last too long, as Shirai went for a pin, and Charlotte got in to break it up, and then Shirai hit a hair pull slam on Charlotte. Charlotte dodged Ripley and Anyway, she tossed Ripley and Shirai into the barricade. That's what happened. Charlotte put Shirai in the Boston Crab. Ripley came in and hit a bunch of kicks. Shirai then hit Ripley with an enziguri. Shirai hit a double foot stomp. And Ripley and Shirai hit forearms and kind of knocked each other senseless. Charlotte kind of took some advantage. She went for a moonsault, but Ripley blocked it. Ripley tried to go for a riptide, but Shirai broke that up and hit a missile dropkick on Ripley. Charlotte came in, tried to hit the natural selection on Shirai, but it was blocked. They fought to the outside of the ring. They fought to the top part, and Shirai did a crossbody off of the In Your House set. They got back into the ring. Ripley tried to block the moonsault attempt from Shirai, and then she hit Charlotte with a riptide from the second rope. Shirai broke the pinfall. Ripley tried to put the prison trap on Shirai, but Charlotte broke that up, speared Ripley, locked on the figure eight, but then Shirai hit the moonsault off the top rope onto Ripley. Mistimed the moonsault because Ripley's head was up and her head almost got clopped right by Shirai's leg. Kind of a rough finish. But that caused Charlotte to break the hold, and Shirai covered Ripley for the 3 count and the victory. So Io Shirai is your NXT Women's Champion. This is probably one, again, where I'd say the right person did win this match. I was thinking they were probably going to give it back to Ripley at this point, but it seemed like most of the momentum was behind Shirai. It seemed most fans are behind her at this point. I know it's kind of hard with a mostly empty arena, but you have to kind of make do with this what you will. And it did seem like it was time for Io Shirai to win this. So, again, I think the right person win. I was kind of surprised that happened, though. So, given the way the show was going. Sorry, air conditioning started up in here. Anyway, like I said, overall, I think that was kind of my problem with the show is good matches, but again, I'm not sure the right people necessarily won these matches. We should be building up the next generation of NXT talent. And it's kind of hard to build them up when they keep losing and we keep getting, extended Johnny Gargano feuds, extended Tommaso. I think some of these guys probably do start need to be pulled up to the main roster. I know Riddle and Dijakovic have. Obviously, I think Keith Lee should still be down there a little bit. But yeah, again, as long as Charlotte's not in NXT anymore, I think that helps a lot. I don't know so much about Ripley, but again, I could look forward to Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley matches. I think, yeah, it's probably time to turn Rhea heel again, so that should work out pretty well. So, yeah, like I said, it is kind of a mixed bag. It was an enjoyable mixed bag, though, so I am going to be giving this a B. It can quite go up to an A, though. Again, too many problems with some of these matches, at least in terms of who won it. So, yeah, again, I'm giving it a B. Sorry. Anyway, next week, well, I guess this week, the next video is going to be, I'm doing 2 movie reviews this week, Artemis Fowl and Defy Bloods. Defy Bloods might be a little bit later than usual. That thing is going to be 2.5 hours long again. So I might, depending on how this shakes out and how I feel on Friday, that might get pushed back to like Tuesday. I don't really want to, but I might have to, just again to get a little bit of breathing space, because I've got a lot to kind of get through, because we also have the random trade review on Gambit Classic Volume 1 and the Backlash recap review as well. So see you all next time. Hey guys, remember to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help me expand my wrestling coverage to stuff beyond WWE, NXT, and the occasional AEW free show.